Welcome Ross Greenberg and Rachel Geller to Talks to Go. You know, when my dad told me that we were going to have a Ross and Rachel as our guests on Talks to Go, I said, "Are you serious? Wait, what? Like David Schwimmer and Jennifer Aniston, those Ross and Rachel." So, have you gotten that all your lives? Was it purposeful? Tell me about that and, if you have any stories about that.
That's such a good well, it's been cemented because now my married name is last name Geller. So
Geller, yep.
I basically married into Friends stardom twice.
Yes.
So yes, I get it almost every day. In fact, I was at the dentist this morning and I got it from the receptionist. So I think yeah, safe to say, especially with the Greenberg too, and
Yeah.
Green being a part of the name, it's an interesting twist. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Ross, for you, did you have, when did, I don't know when
No, I'm
Friends took
sure
over.
Rachel.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, you were well before Rachel Green, right, Rachel?
yes.
Yeah,
so you set the trend
yeah.
before Friends, was even a thing.
The thing is, Rachel and Ross from Friends, I knew about it while it was going on because Rachel probably watched every episode twice.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite shows, so that's a great way to start this off.
Awesome. Love it.
So I have to ask Rachel Geller, did you ever get the famous, maybe infamous Rachel Green haircut?
No, I mean, I wish that would have been the most wonderful haircut ever. No, I got every other bad haircut. So maybe one day I'll just do a throwback.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
That'd be
All
great.
right. Ross, let's keep the Friends theme going just a little bit. On a somewhat more serious note, at what stage of Rachel's life did your relationship turn from strictly dad daughter to a friend, confidant, trusted advisor? When did that turn occur?
I'd say it was really early. I think it was in high school. She was a very mature young lady, and I was following her. And, a lot of the things that she did, whether it be soccer, through high school, she played all 4 years varsity. The fact that she was watching shows like Friends and Real World. Uh, I was all over focusing on her passion and started to kind of feed off of it. So I think you become friends when, I noticed her patterns of life and incorporated into what I was doing at HBO, frankly. I mean, she had a big influence on me. I think a true friend influences you, and she started that in high school.
Mhm.
Mhm. What TV show did she influence to watch you the most?
I think I mentioned it. I mean, when she started watching Real World amongst all her friends in the 90s, if you remember, that was the beginning of reality television.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
That, I have to be honest, her fascination with reality television really transformed my concept of what we should be doing at HBO Sports, believe it or not. And
Really?
I'm telling you that Hard Knocks and 24/7 and every reality-based show, Road to the Winter Classic, that we did at HBO and that you've seen for the last 25 years really was born out of Rachel's interest in reality programming. Honestly, because I a light bulb went off and I said, well, why don't we dig into sports behind the scenes and capture that? Because it's obviously a form of television that people are starting to love.
Hmm.
You know, Ross, I got to tell you, you jumped the gun on me a little bit because I was going to ask as to whether there was a particular segment, storyline on Real Sports that Rachel Imper. You're telling me the entire show was prompted by her interest in another reality television show.
Yeah, I mean, Real Sports was a little different because
Right.
that was more of a 60-minute style
Yeah.
show,
Hmm.
and it
That was
meant
my brother. Yeah.
that it's true. Her twin brother, by the way,
Yeah.
Okay.
who was yeah, he had that kind of journalistic mind.
Yeah.
He was always second guessing, what I was doing at HBO.
And please don't tell me that Rachel, your twin brother's name is Joey.
No, thank goodness. No. No, his
Well,
name is Brad and him and
Okay.
I are very different, but I think we've influenced each other, and I could see how the format for 60, like the 60 Minutes type format was more Brad, the journalistic component. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rachel, would you agree with your dad that the turn from strict dad or dad daughter to somewhat of a friend occurred for you in high school as well?
For me, actually, I mean, I think that he definitely influenced. I mean, he influenced so much in my life, but like participating in sports was always something that I felt heavily drawn to. And I think it's no mistake that, my dad worked in sports television and always, but more than that, he always viewed sports through like a leadership, social justice, empowerment lens that I think really resonated with me. I would say our relationship, though, when I look at when we went into more friends, like was more in college for me. I don't know. I felt like I started to deal more with like issues and challenges in college that like he could relate to or talk me through or like help me to understand how like it might be a phase or like you'll work through this and I know you will. Like it felt more like a guiding light rather than, trying to, shepherd me from activity A to activity B or like the logistics of being a father, right? So
Uh-huh.
I thought my college life, it felt like he was there for me in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there like, are you still into reality television? Are you a big reality TV
Oh
watcher?
God, I'm
No,
being outed.
no,
And
I'm like such a big reality TV person.
Oh,
So
Jill,
Yeah.
my husband is permanently disgusted by my taste in television. We have the shows that we watch together that I feel good about disclosing, but like I'm a huge Bravo fan. It's
oh,
a really
same.
big problem. I think I have an addiction. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think after like a long day, I just want to like turn my brain off and
Yeah.
just be like, okay, like I've got myself together and these women definitely don't. So,
Yeah. It's nice to see that, deal with other people's issues and not your
exactly.
own.
Yeah.
Well, Ross, I think you and I can step aside and Rachel and Jill can talk about Andy Cohen for
Right.
as long as they
Yes.
want,
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
There's a
Yeah.
lot to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's disgusted by my reality
I'm not
TV.
disgusted by I wouldn't choose that word, but
No, you've called it trash a handful of
I have.
times.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
for
right.
sure.
I
Okay.
always call it
Okay.
manufactured reality because it's
Yeah.
Right.
manufactured. When we did our sports reality, it was all put the camera and be a fly on the wall. And
That's reality television. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I've got to ask, since he's one of my idols, has Liev Schreiber, was he ever a guest at a Greenberg family dinner?
no,
No,
No.
it's been a good one.
no, I mean, we did have dinner with him before a fight at Yankee Stadium. But that was just me and Michelle. Rachel and Brad didn't come. But
Okay.
no, he's a special guy, though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And he's an interesting character, and he's very passionate about a lot of things. But no, we never had him over for dinner. Wish we did.
It's not too late, right?
No, never too late. Nuh-uh.
So if it happens, can I be included?
Oh boy.
Just kidding.
All right. Rachel, obviously your dad has won 56 Emmy Awards, 8 Peabodys, and has been inducted into the Sports Broadcasting Hall of Fame. So when it comes to your dad, what are you most proud of?
I mean, I think I'm proud of just who he is operating within the spheres that he has. Like I Yeah, I'm proud of who he is. I think it could have gone so many different ways when you've built a career like his, surrounded by people like in the boxing world, right? No, not to boxing, but I don't think that that's where you get the most like upstanding leaders coming out of that. And so I think that the fact that my dad operated with such integrity and genuineness and the ability to really engage with anyone from, the people who are, cleaning the boxing stadium to, the boxers themselves, the promoters to, just everyone in the sports world, right? Like I think just how he operates is something that I'm most proud of. And I think that he's a very genuine person. He has a lot of integrity. And, everyone who's worked for him, everyone at HBO said that he was their best boss they ever had. And I believe it. And I think it's influenced a lot of the way that I operate in the workplace and my own leadership style. And, I think that just seeing that side of it to me was maybe the most proud.
Yeah.
And also
Yeah.
obviously the projects. Like he did a lot of projects because I participated in those things. Like, he did the 99ers documentary, which now he's hoping to make into a feature film. And so there's just a lot of things that he did and projects he worked on that had like a social justice lens to them that I think really influenced me. So also proud of the type of projects he took on.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously we've touched on this, but I'd like to dive a little bit deeper. Ross, without a doubt, your professional career has been what I will call drenched in sports. So when it comes to your relationship with Rachel, would you consider sports or something else, something entirely different, that's the super glue that binds the two of you together?
I think it's just family. She's got a 4-year-old. This is, Dylan, and she's got Eva, who's 7 months. And I got to tell you, having a grandchild, man, oh man. I mean, so that is that glue, and Matt, her husband, that glue of family, and Michelle, my wife, there's nothing that's replacing that. But I think the other glue is that, Rachel is very much her mom, she would say. Um, and we are our parents. And, I was going to mention my dad was the type of guy that used to get gas, but he'd always get out of the car and he'd talk to the guy filling up, his gas tank.
Mm.
And then if someone opened the door for him at a apartment in the city, he'd carry on a 10-minute conversation with that person. So, I mean, that it's not, it's easy to see why Rachel got that, because I got that from my parents. So I think the glue is that she's the next generation, and we are best friends as well. I mean, it's funny you brought that up.
Mhm.
And she knows she can talk to me about anything, and I can talk to her about anything. Um, it's just easy. It's just a unbelievably close relationship.
Yeah.
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 I mean, you talk about, how there's no, you can share anything with each other. So growing up, was there anything you didn't go to your dad for, or any conversations that you were kind of scared to have with him, dating or whatever the case may be?
Not really. I mean, I didn't take many risks growing up. My brother and I were kind of, I mean, I don't know, pretty angelic children. I truly believe
Yeah.
now that I understand the crazy, the waywardness that children can be. Like,
Hmm.
we were pretty straight and narrow to the point where I think both my parents were like, can you just take some sort of risk? But I think it's a testament, right, to like feeling their guidance and love and support, like every step of the way. I truly don't think there's anything that yeah, I mean, even dating, like I really didn't start that full steam until college. Like I think for me, I was just very focused on getting to where I wanted to go and making sure that I was surrounding myself with good people. And yeah, I think I can't really, I don't know, Dad, if anything jumps to your mind. Nothing jumps to my mind, to be honest.
You mentioned college. I was smiling because I was thinking about I considered her best friends in college my best friends.
They love him.
That was a constant joke that, Ross was up there cracking jokes and,
Yeah. No,
and
they love him.
wine and everything.
Yeah.
So that's how I felt about, Rachel and her life. She's right about the angelic part. I got to be honest. I mean,
We didn't do much to like, I don't know. Yeah.
with no heart to heart, why are you doing this kinds of talks?
Hmm.
No.
I
Yeah.
remember any. I,
I
I remember her scolding me more than me scolding her.
That's how it goes sometimes, right?
But when we say something, dads can, from our generation, your dads and mine, we can say some inappropriate, things at times.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
It can get a little dicey. It
Yeah.
can get a
yeah.
little
Yeah.
dicey. Ross, as you were mentioning, things get passed along down the generations. And Rachel, they like to say the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So, in what ways do you think you and your dad are most similar?
I think sense of humor. We like to laugh a lot. We're both pretty extroverted. So I actually think I get some qualities from my mom, but a lot of what I see myself as is from my dad too. And so I think an extroverted nature, like we like talking to people, getting to know people. Doesn't matter who you are, where you came from. We really enjoy just getting to know others.
Mhm.
I think extreme empathy, it's both a superpower and a curse, I think, but we're both very empathetic people, and feel what other people are feeling very strongly, which I think now I've passed down to my son, unfortunately. Um, um, so that's also something. And I think just honestly, I feel like I get my confidence from him. I think when I walk into a room, I know that I value myself and I'm confident in myself, and therefore can just bring people along with me, hopefully. And so I think I get that certainly from him. No matter what room he walks into, he always is able to like strike up a conversation or talk about, whatever it is the topic of the day of the event is. So I feel like I get that from him for sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sometimes the apple does roll away from the tree. Sometimes. So, in that respect, Ross, in what ways do you think Rachel is a little bit different from you,
Uh,
if there
not,
is a way?
yeah, I can't think of one. She cries, I cry, drop of a hat, watching whether it's shows or movies or even docus that I do, I'll just start crying, having seen it 10 times. And Rachel is very similar. And also, I get emotional at poignant parts of life's, little
Mhm.
circle, and she does too. Um, the empathy is something I feel really strongly about because I know I got that from my mom,
Mm.
that, and my dad to a degree, but we had to kind of push my dad in that direction. My mom, though, everyone was her friend. Um, and and she really felt other people's pain. And Rachel and I have that very much in common, that we're always trying to help people that are in need, emotionally or physically, but more emotionally.
Mhm.
Always there to kind of lift them up. And that's the identical thing that we have, which my mom had. The only thing that it can turn into, which both of us have, is that we can start worrying more about other people than sometimes we should. And, instead of focusing on our own world, which we do focus on
Yeah.
at times, a little too giving, right?
I one thing that I think I guess that I wish I had more of was his creativity. I mean, it sounds silly, but I tend to forget just like how creative his brain is and how creative his industry and his field is. I don't think I have that same, like I have creativity, I guess, in other ways when it comes to like solving problems, but not artistic creativity. And that's something that I don't I really wish I had more of, but I think it's pretty awesome to just watch a family member who does have that. And my husband has that. So, I see both. I see it in my own family, but certainly not from me. Yeah.
Ross, you talked about getting emotional. I'm curious. What one movie scene, it could be sports or not sports, what one movie scene is guaranteed to bring you to tears? I know for myself, I've got two. I'm curious as to what yours is.
Well, there's a different tears or chill up the spine. I mean, the
Either
one,
one. I'll let you take either one.
I think and I'll use my own movie, but Herb Brooks's speech before the game, the
For
U.S.
sure.
that comes from two speeches that he gave before the team in that couple of days, and every time I hear it, not only am I proud that we put it together, and his performance, but it just will live on for 150 years if people keep watching it. And it's the kind of thing that gets repeated online over and over and over again, and teams that are preparing for games. So that one, obviously brings me to tears. But I honestly, at the end of every great sports film, whether, it's Hoosiers or Remember the Titans or Chariots of Fire or hopefully the movie we're making now on the 99 women's soccer team for Netflix, throw that little plug in there. Sorry.
Mhm.
Um, you know, I definitely just cry. I mean, I watched the documentary we did on Dare to Dream on that 99ers, on the 99ers, inspired by Rachel Greenberg. She was playing at the time, and I knew that was a story that needed to be told, empowering of women beyond just a soccer game. And I'm crying like through the entire documentary, and that's the 50th time I've seen it, and I haven't seen it in 10 years. So,
Mhm.
that's just that's in me. Yeah, I feel these things.
Yeah.
When you shot that scene with Kurt Russell, did you know immediately you had gold? You
I
did,
knew I read it on the script,
right?
page 100 or whatever it was. I knew it. I knew that was going to be a legendary scene. It's all about, in a movie, it's all about the script. If you've got a great script, then you have to execute it to make it a great movie. If you have a bad script, you can't make it a good movie.
When
Mm.
the director said cut at the end of that scene, what was the reaction on the set?
Pretty much the reaction. You remember it was a stunned silence when we took
Yeah.
all shots of the players in their stalls. It was pretty much the same reaction. They knew. Everyone, while we were shooting that movie, we pretty much knew that this was going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Director Gavin O'Connor was unbelievable.
Mm.
Then when I did 61, it was the same thing with Billy Crystal. I mean,
Right.
every time we showed a scene, it was like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is working. You
I'll
know.
tell I'll tell you the two movies that bring me to tears without it. And Jill knows one of them,
Yeah.
but one for sure. And I don't care how many times I see it. And one particular scene in particular is Brian's song, without a doubt. And then the other one for me, weirdly, and I will admit it's weird, is My Dog Skip.
Oh, I didn't think that's what you were gonna say.
Well,
Yeah,
animals too. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a particular scene in My Dog Skip, guaranteed gusher. Swear to God. Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you cry at the on Brian's song? Do you cry at the that dinner that they had where
That's
he
one, you're right, where he makes the speech at the dinner. Correct.
and in the hospital?
Right. Those two scenes. You got it. You got it. You got it.
You got
I
him.
know
Yeah.
it's always, and it's everything. You don't realize it, but a lot of times when you're watching a movie, it's also the music.
Hmm.
Yeah.
mhm.
Soundtrack is everything.
You don't even realize it.
The
Yeah.
other
That's
thing too, I don't know if you're aware of this, or you probably are, but it's something I learned a couple of years ago, and that is, in the original cut of that film, it did not have the Jack Warner voiceover at the beginning. And is it Leonard? I'm going to blow the gentleman's name, so please help. Is it Leonard Goldenson? Is that?
yeah. He was the head of ABC at the
And
time.
he saw it. He said, I read the script. It's great, but there's something missing here. And he went back to the writer and he said, give me 24 hours. I think I know what the fix is. And that was the fix. He said, we're not going to change anything else. We're just going to have Jack Warner do the voiceover at the top of the film. And Goldenson saw it and said, bingo, that's it. That
Okay,
was it. Yeah.
because I know the guy Larry Gordon produced that movie.
Yeah.
You can call him and find out the exact story of what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
in fact, I've seen this on. You look it up on YouTube. Yeah, Goldenson talks
Larry,
about it.
might have
Yeah,
been Larry that did that change, not Leonard Golden's. I'll have to,
well, no, it was, but William. Who's the writer on that? I forget.
I forget.
William, not Friedkin. I don't remember now. But anyway, yeah, that was the one change they made, and Goldenson said, "That's it. You got it." And he knew they had gold. He knew they had gold. So, Ross, what is the one thing you admire most about your daughter?
Oh boy. Um, I think her leadership, she doesn't even realize it, but and her management style and her ability to get the best out of the people that work for her. and of course her love of my beautiful grandchildren and husband.
Hmm.
But she's just the whole package, honestly.
Yeah.
I know we all think our daughters are incredible, Jill. But something special about this woman. I've seen her since she was, a little baby, and I've seen her grow. I've seen her have, a couple of difficult issues in her life and overcome the death of grandparents and four dogs. And, you know, I think, I just think it's the way she handles herself. Like she said, when she walks into a room, I'm proud of her watching her
Hmm.
because of the way she handles herself and that empathy and the way she can take friends through difficult times and be relied on as such a great friend to so many people.
Rachel, how does it make you feel to hear your dad talking about you like this?
Well, really nice. I mean,
She
like
knows.
what? Yeah, like that's the thing. I think he's a very like he's an emotional person, a loving person. So like I it's not out of the realm to like hear him share his love for me, which is I think very special. And to be honest, I think not, for your generation, Dad, like it I think men were becoming more and more empathetic and emotionally available, but I don't think it's a given. And so I just find that to be really special. And something that I think it's really important to me for like my kids to feel that love every day. And I think
Yeah.
it was because of him and my mom. So,
Yeah. Well, what is the best piece of advice you've ever received from your dad?
oh gosh, that's so hard. I don't know if I can think of just one. Like, I mean, something that always comes to mind is like to not give up.
Mm.
Like I think that comes from like the sports framing, but both him and my mom, honestly, I think in everything we did, like giving up wasn't an option. And it's not because you need to win, it's just because you need to have the resiliency to not give up something that's difficult. And so, I think just this whole idea of like not giving up and moving forward and like knowing that like this too shall pass, like all of that I think is really important because, as I've gotten older, I've just realized that this is just life and like hard things happen every single day and you got to be able to move forward. So yeah, I think it's not like he's ever said my one word of advice is this, but like that I've taken that from him. And I can think of countless times when like obviously in sports and otherwise, both me and my brother wanted to like throw in the towel. And I think my mom and dad were both on the same page. Like you don't do that. You try your hardest and you keep going. And if it doesn't mean you won, that's okay. You tried your hardest. And I think that matters a lot.
Mhm.
Rachel, did you ever have any desire to follow in your dad's professional footsteps?
I don't think I had it in. I don't have what it takes. No, like I don't know. It's interesting. People have asked both my brother and I this, and I don't think either one of us were ever going to do what he does. And I wonder. I always ask myself, is it because my brain works differently? Uh, is it because I want to do something wildly different? Like I don't think I ever had the desire to do what he did, but I think there are parts of what I do today that certainly were influenced by him and the stories he tells, and the work my mom does as well.
Mm.
So yeah, I just marvel at it. I mean, to be honest, it's like I feel lucky that I get to have this other seat, right? It's not like I'm trying to do what he does, but I get to see his career in the way that in the full scope of it, it is really cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sometimes,
just interject on her mom. I mean, her mom does forensic interviews for child abuse victims. Okay,
Oh,
so she, both Rachel and Brad explored a world where they could really help people roll up their sleeves and see people progress in this difficult world we live in.
mm,
And that really comes from my wife Michelle. And so, as far as sports go, yeah, I think they would go to all the premieres. They'd have fun. Rachel also made sure she could go to the Sex and the City premiere.
Yeah, that was the best perk. That
But 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 the bottom line is that their careers just come from their mom.
mm,
And you know, I didn't care. I just wanted to be the best that they could be, whatever
Mhm.
they decided to do, and help as many people as possible. And that's exactly what both of them are doing. But they would have outshined me anyway.
For
As
sure not. Nope. Brain doesn't work like yours. Nope. No.
um,
Mm. Rachel, Aiden or Big?
Ah, Aiden. Aiden all the time.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay, I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds
Great.
good. Sounds
Yeah.
good. Ross, if you were granted a do-over in your relationship with Rachel, is there anything you would change?
Oh.
uh, I don't. I don't think so. I don't. Do you, Rachel? I don't think there's anything I would change.
No.
I probably
No.
no. Maybe not give her everything she wanted.
I don't think I got everything I wanted.
I know. I'm just teasing.
Yeah, like, well, I think he was always like, you were certainly the one who, like, gave in to things more easily. Like, my mom was like a hard ass. Like, my dad, if you wanted a McDonald's Happy Meal, like, of course you could get that. Like, it's, no, yeah, I can't see anything. Yeah.
That's always
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Guys, if you haven't had enough fun yet, we've now come to the segment of Talks to Go that we call Rapid Fire Roundup. And here's the way it works. In alternating fashion, we're going to give you very short questions or choices. We just want your spontaneous response. Okay? And Ross, I've got the first one for you. Ross, the one sports team, player, or moment that you haven't yet documented that you'd like to.
That's tough for you.
I know. Um, someone asked me this recently, and I had an answer, so I don't know why I'm spacing out now. That's really hard. I guess right now we're working on the 27 Yankees.
Mm.
So it's usually what is happening in the moment.
Okay.
It's more like I'd like to sell that.
Okay. We'll take that. We'll
Yep.
take that.
Yep.
All
Anything
right.
about the Yankees, I'm in.
That's right.
So,
Big time Yankee fan over there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Rachel, your best ice skating jump.
Oh.
I,
My best one, feel like I definitely feel like my double Lutz was always pretty good. Definitely not my Sal cow. I don't know. Dad, was it or my flip?
it said Sal count,
Oh,
but
maybe the Sal cow. It wasn't the toe loop. That was my worst.
you
Mm.
always nailed it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't.
the Sal cow was probably that's a good point. Yeah, that was the best one.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ross, your favorite vacation destination.
That's Steamboat Springs, Colorado.
Ooh.
We go there summer and winter, and we still do. And Rachel calls it her happy place.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Okay. Rachel, the one TV show or series you could watch over and over and over again and never get tired of.
Sex in the City. Yeah. I
Yeah,
just rewatched it when I was pregnant, and I could watch it a million times. Also, I've added Schitt's Creek to the roster. Like that one to me is also so hilarious, and the characters are great.
Mm.
Okay.
Ross, if you were granted the power to choose the halftime performer for Super Bowl 61, who would it be?
oh, that's easy. Taylor. I
Oh,
mean,
She's
uh,
not doing it. She's
I
I
not
know.
know,
doing
but
it.
I
I know,
know.
but she has to one day. I mean, it would be as big as the Super Bowl.
I
right. Well,
know.
the next one is 60. We know that's Bad Bunny. So 61, you're going Taylor Swift.
Once Travis
Okay.
retires, I think she's all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rachel, the next New York neighborhood you'd like to explore.
Like move to or just
No,
explore?
just explore. Sunday afternoon, you just want to,
Yeah.
gallivant. Yeah.
I think I want to go to Ditmas Park, Brooklyn, which is very specific, but I just love the Victorian houses and like walking around, and it's very neighborhoody. It has sort of like a suburban feel, but in Brooklyn. I just love it. I love the architecture there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ross, on a boiling hot summer afternoon, ice cream or Italian ice?
Oh, definitely ice cream. And it's got to have some chocolate. I'm not a chocoholic. Rachel
Yeah.
knows
I
that.
am
Okay.
too. Yeah.
All right. Rachel, when Hollywood makes the Ross Greenberg story, who would you cast as your dad? And he can't play himself.
Oh my God, that's so hard. Uh, uh,
Someone came to my mind.
who?
Why?
Who?
Rudd.
Paul
Paul
Rudd?
Rudd.
Oh, that's a good
Oh,
one.
I like that.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll co-sign that. I can't think of anyone better. And you know
Okay.
what? Paul Rudd never ages. I feel like he literally does not age. So that's a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought of Michael Douglas.
Oh.
Well, because I'm aging. That's why.
No, no, I see the same facial features, you
That's
know?
so good. I
Um,
like Paul Rudd.
yeah, and Ross, who would you like to see play Rachel?
Um, I think Anna Kendrick would be good.
Ooh.
Love her.
Uh, yeah, I think she would be
That's
really.
a good one.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Rachel, what is one thing you've never done with your dad that you like to do?
Hmm.
Hmm.
One thing I've never done with him. Dad, have you ever been on skates with me? Like maybe when I was really little, but I don't think
No, once we did up in the Catskills.
we did. Okay, because that was something that came to mind. Like I feel like I've never seen you ice skate, but
Yeah,
maybe I have. Yeah.
maybe,
Um,
maybe I just chickened out, but I'll do that with you.
Okay. Ross, the one non-sports book, person, or story you think is ripe for a Ross Greenberg documentary.
mm.
Wow. Woo boy, that's tough. Uh, Martin Luther King.
Ooh, good one.
Okay.
Because, yeah, because he's got all the qualities of, we need to investigate him more.
Mm,
I think people only know the one dimension of him,
Mhm.
yeah.
walking in marches and giving those beautiful speeches. But I think we need to know what happened before, all of those events and what he was like when he was not in public.
Mm, yeah.
Okay.
Rachel, your favorite recording artist?
I just Beyonce, right? Like I just love Beyonce. I was really bummed that I couldn't go to her latest tour.
Yeah.
I had just had my baby and I was like, oh, really wish I could go. So I think Beyonce is just immensely talented. Or
Mm-hmm.
Adele, both of them.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay.
good ones.
And we're rounding up the roundup. Here's the last one. Ross, if you had to spend a year in a space capsule, other than Rachel or another family member, who is the one person you would choose to be with you and why?
Uh, I'm laughing, popped in my head. And
Yeah.
it's Rachel and me. I think like a Taylor Swift type, or I guess Beyonce. I didn't know it was Beyonce and not Taylor Swift.
Mm.
But I would think about someone that she would get the biggest kick out of being with.
Well, who would you want to be with, Ross?
Uh,
Could be living or not
Yeah,
living.
living or not. Thank you, Rachel. I'll take that. Yeah, living or not living.
Probably, God, that's tough, man. I can't
Mm.
think of anyone. Maybe I said him early, but maybe Babe Ruth.
Ooh,
Wow,
that's a good
I
one.
like it.
That'd be a good one.
That'd be
That
cool.
is a good one.
Rachel, same for you. Who would you want to be in that space capsule with you?
Um, I think Ruth Bader Ginsburg, because I just want to know what was going on in her head for all the decades she was on the Supreme Court and before, like how she persevered through so
Wow.
much, and also like why she retired when she did, or why she didn't retire when she probably should have. I mean, I want to know more about her decision around to stay on the bench, and just in general her life. So I think Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Those are good
Fascinating
ones.
choices. We got the Babe and Ruth Gator.
Some
Yeah.
I
some
like
old
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
school.
Okay, guys, we're
Wait, wait,
almost.
I have a
Oh,
quick
go
question.
ahead. Sure, go ahead.
Will both of you be tuning into the Eras Tour documentary?
I probably will.
Yeah, I guess I have to because I've kind of told, I admit she's incredible. I mean, if that tour, Eras Tour docu, really tells you more about her, then it'll be spectacular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not a
yeah,
Swiftie, but like I'm not an anti-Swiftie. I can totally she's a marketing genius. Like
for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely. We're almost across the finish line. Next to last segment is what we call cross-examination. And the reason why we call it that, we take the two of you off the hot seat, and each of you gets to ask a question of us. Now, the reason why it's cross-examination, Ross, you get to ask a question of Jill. Rachel one of me, and you guys
Uh-huh.
can decide who goes first. The
And
only question that you cannot ask, because we've been asked it a zillion times, how did you start the podcast? That's the only question that's out of bounds. Anything else is fair game.
Okay. Dad, do you want to go first?
You go first.
Hmm. Okay. If you could live anywhere else in the world, where would you live?
ooh,
Wow,
never been asked
that's
that.
a really good one.
Yeah.
Now, for if you're gonna, if the condition is it doesn't have to be for the rest of my life, but let's say the next six
Right.
months or a year, it's one vacation place that we've been to that we really, really enjoyed, and that was Iceland.
Ooh.
Yeah, we really loved Iceland. Now, I will tell you, we went there in June, so the temperature ranged from about the high 40s to the low 60s. What it would be like in the middle of winter, I'm not exactly sure, but if you've never been there, we highly recommend that you check it out. It's
Hmm.
gorgeous. The people are fantastic. The food is
The food is
wonderful.
really good.
There is zero, and I mean zero traffic. Maybe with the exception of Reykjavik.
Yeah.
But for example, we were staying in a hotel that if you had told me that we were on the surface of the moon, I would have believed you. That's what the terrain was like. And we drove about an hour and a quarter to a glacier. In that hour and a quarter, we didn't pass more than 10 cars.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Iceland, yeah, definitely I would want to do. I would definitely try Iceland for anywhere from 6 months to a year. Yeah.
I'm shocked by that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay,
I'm
Ross.
ready for it.
I was going to ask you, of all the things that you heard today from this podcast, what's the one thing about Rachel and my relationship that surprises you and you'll take home and, and think about?
Ooh. Um, okay.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that is a tough one. So,
Maybe nothing because we weren't very good.
no, no,
No,
no,
No.
you were
just the
great.
opposite.
Great. Um, I think, when you spoke about empathy, how it can be a great superpower and can also be a curse. I feel like I've, heard people say that, and that's something that I've thought about as well. Um, I'm watching the show right now, or I just watched the show Task on HBO, and I feel like it really explores the theme
Hmm.
of empathy and how it can be that superpower and curse. So that's something I will take away from both of you and really think about. Because I feel like we're both pretty empathetic people, and I've never thought about it that way, that it can be a negative and a positive at the same time. Wait, and then there was a second part to it.
That was good though.
No, that was
Am I
great.
missing? Okay, yeah, that's what I will take away from you guys.
No,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
what it's worth, I believe Jill is a very empathetic individual. Very
thanks.
much so. Yeah.
Thanks. You gotta be, but through many years of therapy at this point, sometimes I've learned it's good to be selfish, and then there's times where it's good to be selfless and, obviously think about others, and then there's times where you really need to think about yourself and your needs and prioritize yourself in certain situations
Mhm.
where I might be less empathetic. So,
Yes.
What
yes.
I have one more.
Okay.
Jill, when you first heard Rachel say that she was a Bravo fan,
Yeah.
which show, because I can divulge which one is Rachel's,
Okay.
which show in particular were you thinking when she said that?
So I watched a lot of Housewives during the pandemic. Like that's when I really got into Bravo, but I'm a big fan of Summer House.
Oh, I've been loving Summer House.
Yeah, I
Oh,
love Summer House. So,
oh,
and I've actually seen like a few of them in the city walk around. I've seen Sierra, I saw Jordan
oh,
from like the
wow.
earlier seasons. Yeah, very, very random. Just we'll see them sporadically throughout New York. So, yeah, what's your favorite
I
Bravo?
mean, I think, I definitely Summer House has been up there for me recently,
Mhm.
but right now I really am loving the Real Housewife franchise, but particularly Miami has been like
That's what I've
really,
heard. Yeah.
really interesting. And it's also pretty cultural, I have to say. Recently traveled to Seville and I felt like it was a cultural situation. It was good. But
Educational.
uh,
I have
yeah.
one question. Have they ever shot any of those women going to their plastic surgeons?
Yeah.
They
I mean,
have.
Actually,
one of them
yes.
was married to a plastic
Oh,
surgeon,
okay.
so
Yeah. I've had to turn my eyes away during some of the scenes where they're like literally showing injections.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, no. I mean, now it's in trend to get your lips dissolved. So, some of them are retracting what they did to their faces.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we let you guys go, please let our listeners know where they can find you, follow you if you want that, or any upcoming projects you have going on in the near future.
I'm not very social media heavy, so I'm not, you can follow me on LinkedIn, which I know is boring, but I really don't use any other social media. So I deleted all that because I just had it.
Good for you.
Yeah. So yeah, you can follow me on LinkedIn. And for me, I just ended my recent job at Minds Matter New York City, which is a nonprofit here in New York, and I'm starting my new job at Minds Matter National in about a week and a half. So I'm very excited. That's my upcoming project that's I'm really jazzed about. And the other one is just keeping my two children alive.
Nice.
so I have rossgreenbergproductions.com, which keeps you up to date on what projects I've done and what projects are coming. The two that I'm doing right now, an ESPN 30 for 30, that they haven't even announced, so I can't announce what it is, but
Okay.
former NBA player.
We can't break news here, huh, Ross?
Yeah.
But the other one is, and it's big, is the Netflix movie on the 99ers on Mia Hamm, Julie Foudy. So it's a movie. And it only took 20 years when
Big
Rachel,
passion project. Yeah.
yeah, it's 20 years in the making. And we finally are doing it. I worked with Julie Foudy for 20 years to get it done.
Wow.
So it's finally going to happen. We're going to start shooting in guess where?
New Jersey? I mean, New Jersey's the new Hollywood.
That's right. We are the new Hollywood,
It really
without a
is.
doubt.
It really is the new
Yeah.
Hollywood out
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ross Greenberg and Rachel Geller, thank you for a fun-filled, well-documented, and very real talk to go.